What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. We may have a good idea as to why Dodge is not putting the V8 in the Charger yet. I had a document that may be outdated at this point that came in, but it explains a lot. And I think we're going to go over that and see if you agree with some of the points of this document right after this. Guys, before we get into today's video, we got to talk about the giveaway. The TRX giveaway is closing out this evening. Winner will be picked tomorrow. The live stream is already set, as well as our Durango as well. So make sure you do not miss that live stream. Also, the extra entries are almost all but gone. I think there's like 8% of the products remaining, and they've moved some stuff around where stuff was sold out and took stuff away from other stuff so that people could get a shot at whatever it is that they want to pick up off the website. You can do that by hitting the link in the description down below. And currently, you get 850,000 entries per $1 spent, at least until midnight. And that's probably by the time this video goes live, you may only have a few minutes before it closes out. So link in the description down below, tk'sgarage.bigcartel.com. will get you in for the TRX before it closes out, but also gives you matching entries on the dual Challenger giveaway we just launched. All right, so let's talk about this. I got this in, and you could label this maybe as grain of salt if you want, but it sounds pretty legit to me, right? Let me just go over this, right? So there's a document that I got that came in, and it just talks about different stuff, right? Product strategy. And it talks about DOHC, the dual overhead cam true Hemi, Cuda platform concept. Now, we've been hearing a lot about the Cuda, and the reason why, even Dodge was teasing it. They put it in their portal, and I think we're not seeing it yet because of maybe a trademark issue or two that they have to sort out. But let's look at the executive summary. The market transition to the Hurricane Inline 6 and Charger Daytona EV platform has left a critical enthusiast vacuum. You think? This proposal outlines a targeted recovery plan using the Cuda nameplate by introducing a clean sheet, high-revving, double overhead camshaft competitor to high RPM overhead cam architecture like the Ford Coyotes. Crucially, this strategy respects buyers of the recent last call vehicles by introducing an entirely different model rather than walking back previous final edition marketing claims. A major risk of reintroducing a V8 into the Charger or Challenger, the Challenger doesn't exist, lineups would be the alienation of premium buyers who paid a premium for those 2023 last call models under the promise of exclusivity. That would probably piss a lot of people off. I'm not going to lie. Honoring the last call by utilizing the Cuda nameplate, SRT respects the finality. Notice it says SRT, right? The finality of the V8 Charger and Challenger production runs. It prevents vehicle depreciation and buyer backlash by ensuring those historic nameplates remain officially retired. Well, the problem with that is the Charger's already come back and people are pissed because it's not what they expected. But this nameplate, the reason why they could do this definitely makes sense. It really does. Now, they propose different models of it, of Barracuda RT, and I'm not going to get into the different engine models here, but we'll just say one has 490 horsepower. A Barracuda SRT would have 585 horsepower, and the Barracuda Hellcat, you already know what that is, 900 plus horsepower. I think it would be interesting. I think it could revitalize, not just, and that's why I think if they're smart and they play it right, by not putting a Dodge badge on it, just make it an SRT vehicle. We heard that they were going to do that stuff with some vehicles anyway. Just make it an SRT. You don't have to make it a Dodge. Bring the Cuda to market. Why not? I think it could sell a lot, especially if they can get this done and they could throw those V8s in it. Now, one of the things I find interesting about this is, and I think it might be one of the reasons why we haven't seen the V8. I've seen the excuse of, the cats won't fit, blah, 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 blah. On the Hellcat, yeah, you're right. That's true, but that's not the case for the 5.7. I've seen a 5.7 build with a 5.7. It goes right in. Bullshit. The 5.7 fits. Do you have to modify some stuff with the exhaust to make it work? Sure, but it goes right out the ass of that car. So I don't want to hear it about the 5.7 doesn't fit. They just don't want to put the 5.7 in it. I think they're worried that the Hurricane's going to get killed, and they're trying to revive it with the Super B. And they're going to try to push it really hard with the GLH. And I get it. I don't hate the engine. It's just, they should have called this car something else. It shouldn't have been the Charger. It should have been an Avenger. It should have been call it whatever you want. Call it the Stealth. I don't care. But putting that Charger nameplate on this car and then not bringing a V8 option, I get, but now reading this document, I get why. I get it. They're worried about, maybe the company is actually worried about pissing off a slew of fans that overpaid in 2023 for these last call variants. And that's why they're waiting. They're going to drop that Copperhead platform, right? And that's going to be a massive V8 and a monster. And they're probably going to drop the SRT Daytona. They may not even call it a Charger. And I could see them doing that. I could see them using that SRT nameplate and not attaching it to Dodge. So you'll see that big ass wing, or maybe they call it a Superbird, SRT Super, whatever. All right. I could see them either using the Daytona or the Superbird name and making it an SRT only. It's not affiliated with it's not any brand car. I could see it. And you change it enough so that it is a different car. It's not a Charger. And then you don't piss off your legacy guys. And this never really clicked in my brain, and myself and Butter and OC Motivator were just talking about this in the chat a little while ago, and it makes sense. It does. It makes sense. I could see why they wouldn't want to do that. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.